Welcome back to A Tales of Two Bros. I am Angel,
I'm Adan.
and this is our year in review. Well, kinda.
Ish.
Spoilers time. For those who are joining for the first time, well, welcome. And for those, welcome back. When we first started this podcast channel content was around this time. You got me hooked when I was doing a couple of guest appearances with Kim on your own channel, Nerd Tots.
Correct. We were essentially just doing watch parties. The very first one was Invincible.
Then we did a couple of
We did
Bad Batch, Loki, Apple TV show, Physical.
We also did some smaller films.
I think we did Best of the Best. No,
Best
of the Best.
We did do Best of the Best, where we watched it and then we reviewed it for our channel. But that we also did like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. We did a few other ones, like ones that like aren't big names. You know that people are like remembered fondly, or if you've never heard of it, it's a fun one to watch kind of situation.
Well, I mean, this is what this channel was based on in a way that I wanted us to get closer, bond, go over stuff that we grew up on, even though we do have a 12 age difference. And yes, my birthday just passed. I'm 50. Even though we have a 12-year gap, a lot of stuff we watched together when I was in grade school, high school. You know, when I was away, I'll watch something, you'll watch it, we'll talk about it. And then now, with movies coming out left and right from television shows, Marvel, DC, a little bit of anime, action movies or action scenes.
Basically, all the things that like we enjoyed growing up, and that were the foundation of a lot of bonds that we formed. So, like, granted, there are some differences that him and I have, or you and I, to be precise. But like, to be frank, like you were the reason why I got into comics. You're the reason why I got into anime, and I got into martial arts and martial art movies and action stuff. And granted, I used to branch it out into certain areas, and we joke about it like I'm more into anime now than he ever was.
Well, I mean, it's different now.
Well, the access level was different back then for you too.
We just had video, like video, like I had to go to Blockbuster or a local video shop.
Choices. Remember Choices?
Yeah, I remember Choices, but where I live, where I was going to school, that's what I had, and so I would get it, and I would try to either record it or watch it like multiple times. But now, or even 10 years ago, Netflix, you can get it shipped to you easily. Then streaming became very popular, and more programs came out, or more streaming programs came out. So it was a lot easier for you. For me, I had to get a job. You were going to school and stuff like that. It was a little easier for you. Where me, I had to work, and
at one point I didn't need to like hunt for it. It came to me even before Crunchyroll and Netflix. I was like, oh, I can find it online, and you have to find it certain ways. I'm not gonna lie. There was one time I found a site that would give me anime and was legal and would stream it to me, and like I had to download it, and that's why I had like a hard drive like with 100 gigs of anime that was like playing catch up with. The really funny thing is, I literally had to have a porn membership in order for that. Yes, it was legitimately a porn site that if you registered for it, it'd be like anime, and then it had this whole archive of just legit classic anime. No, you get anime porn, but like if you go to this other part of the site, it was like hundreds upon hundreds of hours of just regular anime.
Like what?
Peach Girl, it was a romantic anime, nothing inappropriate. Midori Days, Dangayo was there, Guyver was there. I had all the Guyvers. Yeah. So I had like a lot of the classics and some of the new stuff that was coming out at the time, all downloaded, and I was just like going through them, and people were like, oh wow, you're watching, you must be learning, you got a hold of all this stuff. I'm like, yeah man, I had to do a lot of hunting. It was a monthly membership that I had for like the shortest period of time. I'm like, I'm just gonna download everything I can, cancel the membership.
Right, yeah, the mom was like, what is this?
What's this fee for? I'm like, nothing. It came in as a no-name thing, but I'm like, it's for anime.
Well, anyway, since we've done it in the middle of the year of, 2021.
Yeah.
This is 2022 now. I thought we should do a review or a look back or a throwback, if you will, on what we did review together and go over them, not so much in detail, but to see like from each playlist or grouping, what was our favorite, what was our least favorite, what was our surprise.
So
Yeah, things of that nature. So
you're
I
talking
have,
about all the stuff we did on our channel.
right. Luckily enough, Kimberly came and joined us on a few of them to get a female perspective, and a couple of times her and I did them because you couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to remember which ones we did with her and I. And then maybe at the end, we could, if you saw a movie that we did a review, you want to talk about or mention, we can.
Okay.
At the time of this recording, I have seen Jurassic World Dominion. Have you?
No.
Okay. So that one's not going to be included.
Okay.
After this, we'll do another review towards the end of 2022, 6 months. It's kind of like what we're doing here is kind of like how they did with Tales of Arcadia. The first season is like forever, and then the following seasons were
So much shorter.
yes, and made sense, right? So I have here is 7 categories of what we did, like throwback, action, DC or Marvel, Star Wars review. So that's what the category is.
Okay.
Good. Sound
Sure.
good to you? Oh, by the way, thank you so much for joining me and Kimberly to celebrate my 50th birthday at Disney World. I know your back was like, oh, at a certain point.
Yeah. For those who
And
don't know, my back threw out. So
from a sneeze or something, right? No,
no, I was
from a laugh.
laughing. I was laughing. I was laughing so hard at like, and the messed up part was like, I was having a headache earlier today, so I'm gonna take some ibuprofen, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then this was later in the day, and then I'm laughing so hard in my back, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad later.
Oh boy! So I know you were a trooper. I know Kim. Like for me, it was since it was my day. I got my second wind after the fireworks when we traveled towards Magic Kingdom to do a little more, get the third park in within the day, a little shopping, and I was raring to go. I would have
Yeah,
on going, but I know you guys were exhausted.
it was just so
Love you
funny.
guys.
Is my back was or it was around that time. That's when my back just said, "Now we're done."
Okay. Well, no, we got there around 9:30 maybe.
No, we got to Magic Kingdom at like 10.
No, no, no. I'm talking about
Oh, in the morning?
in the
Yeah,
morning. We
between
got there
9
around 9.
9:30. Yeah.
Right. And no, we got to Magic Kingdom around 10:30. We had to take we had to take
We took the
monorail.
monorail.
Oh, yeah, because we went to Hollywood Studios to catch Galaxy's Edge, which was amazing.
We
We
spent
went on
most of the day there.
because we wanted to be with the Star Wars stuff and
We did all of
Smuggler's
that.
Run
Yeah, we did we did it
twice.
twice. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Chewy, we're home. Luckily, we did it because of
Singles.
which goes by quick. Unfortunately, we couldn't do Rise of the Resistance because that was shut down due to technical issues, and some of the things that we couldn't see or do because lightning was happening. So, like any outdoor events was like
Well,
shut
they
down for
shortened down
safety.
the Indiana Jones one for safety.
Right, which I'm okay with because I was getting annoyed.
He was not happy
I was
with
getting
the stunt
yeah.
choreography of Indiana Jones.
No, it
In
was
his
like it
defense,
was more.
I remember Indiana Jones from back in the day. And if you watch it on YouTube, it's the same stunts. It's pretty dated stunts.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to argue in a sense that there is dated because it is, but the fight in those movies compared to what I saw was more like I'm gonna go like this, and the guy's gonna fall. Like there was only one cool stunt when the guy fell on his back and his legs went towards his head.
Yeah,
That was only one.
That one looked like a hit.
I understand that they work and they perform for our entertainment several times a day, several days a week, but looks sloppy. Kylo Ren was walking around,
You kept missing him.
kept missing him, trying to.
And the best part was like, and he was really chasing down Kylo Ren. At one point, he was going after him. And then, like, you see Kylo Ren turn the corner and he's gone. And we're like, wow, he used the dark side to disappear from you, bro.
Well, I mean, at least the stormtroopers approached me.
Yeah, he did get. You did get approached by stormtroopers at one point.
Let's go.
Sorry.
Is your allegiance with the First Order?
Yes.
Good. Much less trouble for both of us.
Yes, sir.
On your way then. Goodbye.
Yeah, we drank some blue milk.
I had some green milk.
What did we do? We did Epcot, a couple countries.
Mm-hmm. Which,
all the,
of all the countries, we felt offended for China.
Offended for or by?
Not by, because China doesn't offend us. We felt offended for people of China because they were selling stuff for other countries in China.
Well, everything is made in China.
Taiwan and Mexico, but also count. But
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, for those who have never been to Epcot.
Yeah, we're on a tangent right now.
There's countries that you can go to visit certain countries. So you have Japan, Norway,
UK,
colonial America, China,
Morocco,
Canada, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to go to Japan and China mainly because of treats or because they have snacks from that country. So,
Japan had a lot of good snacks.
Oh, yes, they did. But what they were selling,
I mean, some of the stuff was really cool.
But I'm talking about not just clothing, but props, if you will, like that.
That were out of place.
Not in Japan.
No, in China. I'm talking about the China one. Yeah.
You're jumping a gun.
I'm a bet.
Yeah. Go to Japan, we get
crackers
more
and
drinks
candy.
and
sake.
Drinks. I'm trying to get drunk, but it's kind of, the drinks are it's not back to back drinks, so which is okay.
True. I was double fisting.
China, yeah, I know that. But as I'm walking, or as we're walking, you see like guys, kids, adults, whatever, carrying bokens, Japanese wooden swords. But where was it? I didn't see it in the shops. I didn't see any of the stores in Japan. Then we go to China. We see all this dragon artwork and like some statues, some calligraphy.
The hats, the straw hats.
The masks. And the masks that you bought.
Look like the mask from Three Ninjas, which is always funny to me, but yeah.
Well, you say Three Ninjas, but I call it Five Deadly Venoms.
Oh no, there's a kid movie called Three Ninjas.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a kid movie where there's three kids.
Oh no, I know. Oh, that I know. I know that part. But I'm just saying, you see those masks, and that's what refers to your memory. My memory kicks on to Five Deadly Venoms. But as we're doing that, we're walking to that shop, and then we turn to our right or left. Can't remember. But there's a wall full of sword sets and bokens. And I'm like, someone has to talk to whoever runs Epcot to get this fixed around. Because it was like, I got offended. I was like, oh!
There was like one Tai Chi sword, one. There was a couple other swords that were like, okay, that can fit in some of the. But then there was like ones that we saw like
it was a Mongolian sword.
Yeah,
or an Arabic.
No, that was a Mongolian one for sure. Which that can go in there. That technically can fall into it. And then there were some other ones, but katanas are iconic. And when you see like a set of 3 katana, like a katana, and I forget the other two, a sword set, and then and you get another one, and they're like, "This is from this dynasty." I'm like, I could be wrong. I don't believe China ever used in like legitimate facets of its history katanas. Like I adopted the katana into their fighting style or their their culture.
Closest that I know is the broadsword.
Yeah,
because they had the straight sword and then the broadsword, and the broadsword is more like for battle, where the straight sword is more like fencing.
Yeah, and which I didn't even see a broadsword. Jeez.
No, No.
I would have loved to see butterfly swords. I always been a fan of butterfly swords, but that's a side note. But they had like katana umbrellas, bokens, wooden katanas. Like we played around with those in there. Actual katanas on the walls. It was like a whole section dedicated to that.
Yes, and in Chinese martial arts, the weapons are almost endless.
True.
And they're beautiful. But yeah, they went right to Japan. I was like, all right.
It just boggled our minds.
I did like small museum in Norway.
When you say small, it's small. It's like the size of my room. You walk in. Right. We thought it was a restroom at first.
Exactly right, because there was like
there's no
real signs. You have one sign. You go in. You see, well, now you go in. You're walking by. You see a sign with like two names that you would think, oh, that's a name. Okay, that's for men to use, and then that name will be for the ladies to use.
Yeah, it was like Loki, and it was either Frigga or Freya.
The other side of the building or house, whatever it was two names again, Thor and Odin. I'm like, wait a minute.
So again, we got dude and dude.
And hey, nowadays why not? I walked up to see, like, is this just for show or is this like accessible?
Yeah, he did poke his head in.
And you notice that people behind me follow suit because I guess they were curious as well. I guess they thought the same thing I did.
It was like
middle. There was a middle that had a carving of Thor, Loki, Odin, and
I want to say it's Freya.
And then they have like a little history on them,
and then like small stories, like
small stories, and their weapon of choice.
True.
Like Loki's was the mistletoe.
No, that was a story about how Loki tricked one of their brothers with mistletoe.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Loki's was because you remember you saw him with like what looked like a dagger or a knife, and he was grinning. I'm like, that must be Loki. And then
there's an animal.
Yeah,
animal like counterparts or their counterpart.
Yeah, they're animals like that they're known to have with them, and his was the wolf, which was like Fenrir, which Marvel used that for Hilda in Thor 3, but like Odin had the crows, Thor had the goat, and I forget what hers was.
Wolf?
She did not have the wolf. She had something else. I have photos, but I don't remember.
Me too. Cool. And I did like the fireworks. We're going to go again when, I don't know, but I enjoyed it. It's been a long time. I think the last time I went, I think it was when I either on my class trip in high school or after my last trip, like a graduation thing that we did with the family.
Wow, I feel like it was a family thing, unless you went without me. But
no, we were
talking. Yeah, then it was a family thing. No,
I have pictures of you hugging the king from Robin Hood.
The bad guy.
Yeah, the villain. But you were a kid. You were just happy. So anyway.
That's
all right.
hilarious.
So let's get back to it. Here we go. Like I said, I have 7 categories that we reviewed. Well, maybe not June. Maybe I think we did it in June, but
hey, I would say our first video that came out was 11 months ago.
Probably in July. That came out. Everything people have heard us do or seen us do here. It's all because I'm learning on the fly. I never went to. I didn't go to film school, but I took a few courses in college, not to this level.
Right. And they didn't have technology this tech back then.
Exactly. So I'm learning as we're going. The audio stuff, getting right, because a lot of times I know that the audio was off. I sounded either far away or I used a different mic, not knowing I was on a different mic, or the mic was too far away because I was afraid. I was being too prima donna. Oh, I don't want the camera on me. Not the camera on me, but I don't want the mic.
I remember there was discussions. He's like, I don't want to be on the mic. I'm like, man, you gotta make love to the mic sometimes. You just gotta embrace it.
I don't want to get Kim jealous. So those who have been with us from the beginning and those who are now learning about this, thank you for your viewership or listening support. It means a lot to us. I mean, we're just 2 guys, 2 bros sharing tales of what we like.
They're pretty much
the tales of 2 bros. Anyway, here we go. So one category that we did the most is our Marvel shows and movies.
Yeah.
About 15, 16 of them. The shortest is actually Star Wars. We only did Visions, first season of Book of Boba Fett. Well, first season of Visions and first season of Boba Fett. Let's start with shortest, and then I guess we can build up. Okay, I think we can call it, it's pretty even or obvious which one we like more.
Boba Fett? I'm joking. I'm joking. Honestly, I like Visions better.
I know there's people who love whatever Star Wars comes out because Star Wars can't do no wrong. And I say, yes, they can, and they have. And yes, their heavenly father, George Lucas, is imperfect, and we have seen that countless times through his work in the original trilogy and their prequels. Hate me or love me, it doesn't bother me. Even God's fall. Now, granted, Book of Boba Fett, he didn't touch it. In the comparison of these two, Visions is way better than Book of Boba Fett. I think the reason why, and we can bring in Mando into this.
That's right. We didn't do a review on Mando.
No, we didn't. We'll do it when season 3 is about to come out.
You mean Book of Boba Fett?
We'll do
No.
Mando.
No, I was joking.
Granted, even
Book of Boba Fett is basically Mando 3.
That's also made me hate about Boba Fett is that it became the Mando show. A lot of us grew up on Star Wars before Disney bought it. Or what makes Vision and Mando or the Mandalorian so good is not retelling or reshaping something that we already know. Mando's a whole new character. So whatever he does is all acceptable because we have nothing to compare him with or to what he's done before. Visions, again, new stories, different look and how Star Wars is presented through anime. Some episodes did have some tie-ins from other characters, Boba Fett as one of them, but they were still original.
True.
And that was refreshing.
It was the style difference is what was a big. Visions was the Star Wars what if. You have other stories and what backgrounds that are being told, some of which could potentially be in continuity, and then others just flat out weren't.
All right, so that was done. We're done with that.
Star Wars wrapped up. Easy.
There you go. Right. How much more can you go on that? Next one. The one we've done, unsurprisingly, is DC. We did a review on the Batman, Peacemaker. We also did a review on the DC fandom of what was coming up next.
Oh, we did, yeah.
And the Suicide Squad. Now, DC fandom, we don't really have to talk about because, again, it was just clips of what was coming up, what we were excited for, what we were not excited for, where they got it right or looked like they were getting it right or where they missed the mark. We don't have to worry about that because it's just like a preview. It's a trailer. 2 of these were movies. 1 was a show. The Batman, Peacemaker, and the Suicide Squad. Now, since this list is short of only really 3, which was your favorite?
This might be divisive, but I'm going to say Peacemaker.
What was your least?
A few moments later.
There's only 3 to choose from.
Yes, but
you only said you only said one already. So
I already said 1. Like
50.
It's 50-50. I could be wrong about 1.
It's your opinion, but come on.
You know what? It's gonna be divisive on this. Suicide Squad. Wait, we said least of the 3. Least favorite was Batman.
Okay, and the surprising one.
Batman. It's okay. So there's a
okay.
Yeah.
No.
Tell me your opinion about that first. Like before I get to that.
Out of the 3, me the Batman is the best. The least of the 3, Suicide Squad. The one that surprised me was Peacemaker.
I have to retract my about surprise. It is definitely Peacemaker.
No. You can't do that. No.
Okay, but you're right. You know what? Okay, I'll stick with mine. There is a reason why Batman surprised me. And it stuck.
How did it surprise you?
Okay, so 1, the way they hit a lot of the tones and a lot of the things that they were doing, I'm like, oh, I was anticipating, but a lot of times when we watch trailers kind of set you up for failure in a lot of different ways. And I'm like, oh, I'm hoping it's going to be a detective film. I'm hoping they're going to go nitty gritty on these areas and these points, which they did hit a lot of points, and they were very surprising for how they were done. And some of those character portrayals were fantastic. And I'm not a fan of the main actor who plays Batman.
Like you still feel that way, like in the sense like you're not a fan of him?
Oh no, I mean going into the movie, coming out of the movie, I liked him playing as Batman. Mm-hmm. Yes, he needs time to grow into Bruce Wayne as a character, which they'll probably do. But playing the role overall, I was impressed. and he's growing on me. That made me appreciate that more. Granted, was it flawed at the last like 20 to 30 minutes of the film? 100%.
Flawed in what way?
The whole bit of the riddle, and it was like there was a dozen different riddlers and the hockey rink thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, if you like Joker, and Joker's a really good movie in itself.
It's the same thing, though. It's nothing new.
Well, in a way that Joker took sources or inspiration from other movies, well-established, revered, loved films. Batman does the same thing. He took a lot of inspiration from other classic films and then gave his own life. And that's what I liked about it. Yeah, I understand that, multiple Riddlers and all that stuff in the amount of time. Now, granted, we don't really know how long the Riddler has been doing this, or do we? You know? Well, a couple weeks maybe. So
it wasn't that long.
Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do, yeah.
The podcast portion probably was longer.
Probably. And overthinking it again, not overthinking about going through it again. I mean, I like the fact that the Riddler and Batman are both vigilantes here. Before, the Riddler was just a criminal in a way that he always was a game, like how the Joker and the Batman was always a game in the Joker's eyes. The Riddler was also playing a game with him, of trying to foil him with clues, and if he can solve it before I commit the crime, then you're the better man. It was like Two-Face, both the same coin, where Batman was the clean, unscratched surface. The Riddler was the scratched, damaged surface. Criminals under Batman's eyes were arrested, beaten to a pulp, almost dead. They were arrested.
No, wait, that was the other one.
No, this one did not brand like Batfleck did. But here the Riddler killed.
Yes.
Which I can totally respect because he was taking out the trash.
Punisher stuff.
Where Batman was taking out the trash, but out of the recycle bin. And not everything gets recycled. Everything, a lot of times, the things that get recycled are just still trash. That's what I liked about that. I mean, that's what a good movie or a good movie experience should be, where it makes you think over and over. And when you see it again, you see another layer come off. That's why I like the Batman.
No, and that's good. But that's also, funny enough, the reason why I liked Peacemaker is I rewatched Peacemaker multiple times. There was like so many they snuck in so many small nuances and like references, and it was hilarious to watch. And the opening sequence alone, that was rewatchable. That title sequence, I literally had that loop for a while, just playing.
Peacemaker is awesome. That's why it was a surprise to me. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Let's be honest, there was a spinoff of Suicide Squad.
Well, it definitely was a spinoff.
Yeah, Gunn did it. He met John Cena, and he's like, you know what? Let's do this, and it was just great.
That was good. Next one is action reviews that we saw was The Matrix, The Matrix Reloaded, and The Matrix Revolutions, Ray and the Last Dragon, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, and what's our selection for this category?
What is number one, your favorite? What was your least favorite? And what was your most surprising?
Least favorite, without question, Matrix Resurrections.
Oh, shoot. Resurrections. That's right. Got that one, too. That makes it sixth.
It was so bad, people, that he blacked it out of his mind.
Yes, I did. So yeah, Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, Matrix Resurrections. Yes, thank you.
Most surprising, and you said most favorite, or just favorite?
Your favorite one and most surprising. So it's like three that we picked from each category.
So most surprising was, without question, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I'm actually going to go with that one. That's my favorite, too.
For me, The Matrix. I'm sorry. I can watch that all the time.
Respectable. And understandable, too.
The least favorite is Matrix Resurrections. That was horseshit.
And the funny thing is, I got in a conversation with a guy at work. He's like talking about how garbage the new one is for the Matrix. And I'm like, oh, so like, what do you think about that one scene? He goes like, I haven't even got that far. Like, what, you're talking about how garbage the movie is? He's like, I turned it off. He's like, I was watching it. I didn't even get halfway through. And he's like, I turned it off.
It was bad. My most surprising was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I agree with that.
As the new advertisement comes out since Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, this is the true multiverse film.
And it's actually more madness in this movie than in Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, that daughter is vicious in comparison to Wanda.
But even the like the multiple realities that they show, yes, they show a lot in Multiverse of Madness, but they actually delve into the differences in those realities, and you see how chaotic it can get. I'll leave you with one note, spoiler: hot dog fingers. That was actually disturbing.
Go into the review with me and Kimberly on Jurassic World. There's a dinosaur, kind of reminded me of hot dog fingers. Raya and the Last Dragon, I would say that's like an honorable mention because what they did in the animation in the sense of the fight scenes and authenticity and the art and the weaponry they used,
I would
honorable mention.
I'll be okay with that as an honorable mention.
Matrix can also be a throwback review as well. This was tied into action.
Fair.
Speaking of throwback, let's do into that then. So we did a throwback review of The Last Starfighter for your birthday. Best of the best. I'm going to get you, sucker. We didn't do this with you. Top Gun.
True. I did watch it.
Well, then if you did watch it, then you can put this in. For my birthday, we did a review of Jurassic Park. Granted, the one that we did not really rewatch was based off strictly memory.
Last Starfighter.
Best of the best. I'm going to get you, sucker. Top Gun and Jurassic Park. We did rewatch. What was your favorite, least, and surprise?
Surprise was Top Gun. I've never seen Top Gun until I actually watched it. All these years, I've only seen clips. I've never seen Top Gun in its entirety.
Did you watch our review?
I also watched your review, and I agree with a lot of things you guys said.
Yes.
The tone was there. I saw it. I also asked the question is, why we sweating here, guys? I mean, I'm a big boy. I sweat a lot. And I'm like, I understand it. I have a lot on me. But they were like in their top prime. I'm like, you're sweating like I am. That's not good. Someone needs to get a doctor checkup. Can't be flying those jets. But either way, I did enjoy the film for what it was. Now, favorites. I'm technically not counting Lost Star. I'm not. Nostalgia is weighs hard, so I'm not going to count Last Starfighter until I watch it again officially.
Right.
But I will put. I'm going to get you, sucker.
Your favorite
of the throwbacks that we've seen? Yeah. I'll put that in there. And then least, I'm going to say that's the best.
Okay, no worries.
That's the best. Didn't have it doesn't hold up to today. Rewatching it.
How dare you?
I know you love that film to your core. Is that your best? Is that your favorite?
No.
Oh.
Not my favorite. No.
Okay, what's yours?
Jurassic Park. It still holds up. With all the faux pas that it has in that film, the pace is still great. The acting is great. The tempo, even though the CGI still lacks, practical is amazing. Story is easy to follow, and it still gets you going. It holds up even to this day. Least favorite? Gun. Very basic. It's high school rivalry. That's pretty much what it is. With a lot of gay overtones. And that's okay too. But it's just surprise. I'm going to get you, sucker. I'm surprised because it was still like funny. Even though I remember a lot of it, there were some things I did forget. And it is a classic in its own right. All right. Next. So here we go. Series. So we watched He-Man and the Master of the Universe. We also watched Kevin Smith's Master of the Universe. Cowboy Bebop. Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and Troll Hunters. Your favorite, least favorite, surprise.
So least favorite, let's go with that. Sadly,
I think I know what you're saying. That's with a C.
You called it because it is my least favorite, Cowboy Bebop. Sadly, I have an expectation walking into it because I am a fan of the anime series. I do give a room for creative imagination, and they did do that where they can change things around, which was good. It's just the execution and how some things went through, not as good as it should have been. Most surprising, I got lost in the series again.
Okay, it's He-Man and the Master's Universe.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Smith's Master Universe. Way Bebop, what you just gave your answer to in the sense of least favorite.
Yes.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson and Troll Hunters.
Okay. He-Man and Masters of the Universe, not Kevin Smith. The kid version one. That caught me off guard, and I'm like, this is actually really entertaining. and it is far left different from what He-Man is in a lot of ways. It
That's
was
the
very
one I
surprising.
recommended to you.
It is.
I recommended to that one. So, and then you also recommended me Troll Hunters.
My favorite is John Claude Van Johnson, which I also recommended to you. Love that show.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons.
Right.
6 episodes. That's all you need.
So, least favorite, mine, is, as well as yours, Cowboy Bebop. It was off the mark.
It was.
It honored the original series, the original anime,
In a lot of different
almost
ways.
opening correct to the mannerism, to the character, the actors who were cast as the characters. They went into another direction, almost like a multiverse version of the series,
And I
which
agree.
is okay. But it just, I felt like the animated version, each episode was about a half hour long. They crammed everything in and got the point across, where live action was about an hour long or 45 minutes long, and they just could have made it tighter.
Let's be honest.
And
the whole
get the
vicious part, that was made for the live action. That was not needed, and that is arguably what killed the show.
favorite.
A few moments later.
See,
That was tough.
see, it can be tough too.
A few moments later.
I'm gonna say Masters of the Universe.
Really?
Kevin Smith's. The reason why I like it is because it felt like a sequel from the ones we used to see after school.
That's fair.
It
They
felt
had some good
like a
voice acting too.
Oh yeah. So it felt like a continuation. So my childhood was relived in that series. He-Man in the Master Universe, great surprise take on it. Where some things I didn't know because some things be done in other renditions. His story has been told several times already. Troll Hunters was a surprise to me in a sense how well I liked it and the story that would happen, because the whole Tales of Arcadia spans across several series and
and
shows.
years. And a movie.
So you have Troll Hunters, you have Three Below, and The Wizards.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out. But off your recommendation, John Claude Van Johnson was a happy surprise for me. I didn't expect it to be that good. Even though it was extremely cheesy, it was quite entertaining. The story was easy to follow. It wasn't too crazy. It was comical. Some of the action scenes were, let's be honest, not so great, but very Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. It was very 80s fighting scenes too.
Right. Yeah, and I just love that retro, or that throwback, if you will. Now, all right, we're done with that.
Yes.
And we did 6 movie reviews. Some of them, of course, could have been in another category like those that we've done. But what we saw, and I think if I say this first one, you're going to know which one that will fall in.
Oh, yeah.
Army of Darkness.
Knew it.
No, the Army of the... I keep doing it.
I knew you were going to do it too.
Did it in the review. I did it now.
It's
Army
about a year
of
later.
the Dead. I still can't get it right.
Go ahead.
The Army of the Dead, Mortal Kombat, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Uncharted. What was your least, your favorite, and surprising?
Okay. So for least, I'm going to give an honorable mention for this least. It's Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Army of the Dead, the show. That's literally like our first video, and we had...
That was our first video, and we had... Yes, our first video, we...
had a hate boner on that for that movie. I was up till like 5 in the morning watching this film.
What's the story?
I was locked outside.
Tell the story. Let the audience know what happened here.
I was going to visit my brother. I was going through some things like where like I couldn't sleep because there was some stuff that was happening out. No, my back wasn't out then. I was like, there was stuff that was going on with people I knew, and like it was running through my head. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie. I might as well watch this movie because it's on, and we want to talk about it.
Before you continue, so where I live, I have a finished backyard where you can eat. We have a TV in the backyard. You can watch sports.
It's covered.
Movies. Yeah, it's not going to get damaged by the weather. But anyway, could be very relaxing.
So that was my mindset. I'm like, I'll watch a movie. I don't have to worry about, bothering anybody. No lights, no things. And there was dogs. I didn't have to worry about disturbing everybody. So I came outside. I brought my dog out, and I started watching this movie. It was like around 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning when I started watching this movie. I didn't realize the movie was going to be like 3 hours long, first of all. And then as I'm watching it, in the middle of watching the movie, my brother comes outside to walk the dogs, doesn't see me. Like, you let the dogs out. You don't see me.
Sorry.
And when you close it, and then you notice I'm there, you do see me at one point, and you see, and like, what are you doing? I'm just watching a movie. I'll go inside shortly. You're like, okay. You go back inside with your dogs, and it's just me and my dog outside. I finished the movie because I'm like, this is a hot mess of garbage, and I'm finally finishing it. And then when I go to the door, it's locked. And then I'm like calling, texting.
My phone is always on silent. I don't like it vibrating. I don't like the sound on.
Literally, the sprinklers went off like while I was there, and I was like perched in like 2 chairs like this, trying to get like 2 hours of sleep. So none of that was transferred to my review of the movie. The movie was bad on its own.
How do I find out? It's because I'm waking up and look at my phone. I looked at Kim and it was like, lock them outside. I walked and I felt bad, of course. I said, why not just tap the window? And you're like, I don't feel like a creep, something like that. It was like, well, keep us out, we can get back in. But no, that was quite hysterical.
It was. We laugh about that now.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was, and so you're traumatized by that movie in multi layers.
Yes, it will never be forgotten. But yes, it was my least favorite for sure. So most surprising was actually Uncharted for me. It's a video game movie. Honestly, you go in with low expectations. Video game movies don't usually hold up. So that one actually surprised me a lot.
And I know in our original review that they've never done a video game like this, and a video game movie, like this. And I'm wrong thinking about it because they've done Tomb Raider 1 and 2 with Angelina Jolie, and they did a remake.
Mm-hmm.
That one I never saw anyway. So
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen for me was more of a favorite. I got all the references. I got the parts that were going through it. So for me, I was a fan of the series going into it. It actually worked for me. But watching it, you have to be a fan of the series first.
Worst one, Army of the Dead. It outbeats Mortal Kombat. They beat out Mortal Kombat only because of the fight scenes with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. That
was the highlight.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was it. The most surprised is also my favorite of this list, Uncharted.
Ooh, you got a double there. Okay.
I was surprised to see how good it was. It was better than I anticipated. Even though the story could be weak, they got the character more or less right. Even Sully, to an extent. All right. Our next and last list, our Marvel review. So it was 15. This includes the shows and movies, MCU related and not MCU related. It's going to be a lot. Hit Monkey, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Spider-Man, Far From Home, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Eternals, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Black Widow, WandaVision, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Moon Knight, Morbius, Loki, What If. So I'll make it easy for us. This is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do right now of the Marvel series, your favorite, least favorite, surprise.
Easy. Favorite, Loki. Least favorite, WandaVision.
Gotcha.
Surprise, Hit Monkey.
I agree with everything you just said right there.
Yeah. I can do it quick.
You can, because it's that simple. Now, there's one that we did view, but I don't think we watched, but we didn't review, MODOK.
Yeah, we did that as a watch party. We did not review that one. But MODOK would not it would have been close. It would not be on that list, and plus it would have been close to WandaVision, if anything.
So yes, Hit Monkey was a great surprise. Loki not be touched. What If came close, as well as Hawkeye. We didn't review Falcon and Winter Soldier. We will.
Yeah, that was another watch party we did. We didn't technically review that one.
Okay, so there you go. We got that.
I will say,
Oh.
of all the things we reviewed so far, we left out The Boys.
You're right. But you know what? It doesn't. Nah.
Nah.
It's.
It would have been argued for like worst between that or Cowboy. And I think
Yes.
Cowboy, I would have gone Cowboy still worse.
Cowboy.
Still worse than The Boys. All right, Marvel movies. Morbius was in this category, right?
Yes.
And yeah.
Worse than Eternals?
I feel one of those is going to get an honorable mention. So,
No.
mm,
No.
no, you know what? You know what? I will say yes, worse than Eternals. And I'll tell you why. And I'll say this passionately, too. So Eternals, at least, was in continuity, kept in line with the story, and like held true to the characters somewhat more than what Morbius did.
It stayed in his lane.
It did. And graphically, yeah, they had a big thing at the end, but at least you could see what was happening, and it didn't look like a knockoff of Dracula Untold. And that did that better. I would say my favorite would be No Way Home. That blew me out the water. I was like fanboying all throughout that film. So that was just a fantastic film all around for me as a Marvel film to watch and get to review. Most surprising, No Way Home also. I was very surprised by it. The way they did the hook in the end to tie in all three films as an overall origin. Again, spoilers, people.
More than 3 films of this origin.
True. Yeah, it is technically more.
If you look at the
Avengers
films,
Civil War,
Captain America,
yeah. But that just tells you like that's a lot of work just to tell one person's origin. When usually, like when you say, "Oh, I watched the character's origin in one movie or in a part of the movie," they just said like, "We took several movies to make this his origin." And I'm like, that's impressive.
And that was cool in a sense, like you don't know his origin story until the end.
Yes, that's where the surprise came in for me, and it was my favorite for when it came out. So it was my favorite Marvel movie.
All right, least favorite Morbius as a Marvel film, as a Marvel entity. That was bad. I mean, it failed twice. I mean, it broke records in the sense of when it opened during its premiere, but then it broke records in the sense of how bad it tanked on the second weekend. And then they tried to revamp it because someone was trying to do like his Morbin time.
And they thought it would be funny.
Well, yeah, but then Sony said, let's do it. So they brought it out and it only made 85,000 that weekend.
I never take Rotten Tomatoes seriously, first of all, people. But for fun of it, I look at their ratings. Morbius got a 16 on the Tomatometer, and the audience review is 71.
Okay, a lot of people likes in the sense of Star Wars, in comparison to Star Wars. It's like whatever is thrown out, they like it, regardless. Marvel can't do wrong. George Lucas can't do any wrong. Or Zack Snyder, he's a god. And you can still have a loving relationship with an entity like Marvel or Star Wars and still have complaints. Just like you do with your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband or mother or father. You can love them to death, but you can be pissed at them too.
These are true.
You can be upset. You can call them out on their bullshit. But then at the end of the day, okay, that's still your number one. Why do people like ride or die? Dude, sometimes you gotta get off that ride. You know, you can't be one or the other. It's like sometimes it's okay to get off and say, you know what, you're driving too crazy. My favorite, just like yours, Spider-Man: No Way Home. It was this year's Endgame.
It really was.
Return of the villains from the previous Spider-Man films. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire making their return. Total fan service. Great story. Great origin telling in the span of 6 films, if you will. How can you not like it? And my surprise after rewatching it is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot of people don't like it. I think it's a weak.
Well, I think you said it when you first watched it. You said, if I remember correctly, you said you weren't a fan of Doctor Strange originally when you first watched it. You were like mediocre with it.
No, I liked it. I liked it enough to buy it. And I have not watched it since I first saw it. So when I rewatched it, I was surprised how good it was. And this year, or our year doing this, the first 11, 12 months, was a lot of learning on my behalf, a lot of mistakes on my behalf.
Both are in some areas.
Well, no. Me, because I was learning and we're trying to figure out a format on how to present or review these films, shows that we have been. And now I think we're starting to get a feel for it. Maybe well, there's always room to learn, and I'm willing to do that. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in our future. More reviews. There are some movies that we recorded but have yet to edit. One of them was Best of the Best. Took me forever to edit because we kept getting more content, and help trouble editing that one. There are two movies that I know that we reviewed. I think three others, but one I was like, we're not gonna just scrap that. There's two movies that I definitely recorded and still think of editing, and I'm the first one.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did, yeah. And In the Heights that we recorded last time for my birthday.
Oh yeah, you know what? And I forgot about, and I was proud of that review session that we did too, and it never came out. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
I'll probably put it to the other one because we were kind of all over the place on reviewing it, jumping here and there. In the Heights, a great musical. So maybe I will get around to it and edit. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Bro, it's been an honor doing this with you. It was some fun, and also a much appreciation to Kimberly for stepping in a couple of times and joining us for a lot of these reviews, and also to Mom. She joined us for our review on Moon Knight. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be around.
Facts.
There's no denying that. So, on that note, guys, until next time, it will definitely be a next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
I know.
You did a Han Solo.
Yes.